Okay, and our next topic is the performance value in points and implications for the ranking position. So how does this work, guys? Because I heard many questions and many people are like, hey, this was 72.5 last week. How come it's not 72.5 today? So how does this work, and how does it actually apply and affects the judging in vert skating? Can we talk a little bit more about this?
So I think every time, every phase of a competition or every competition is a different day. And so on every different day, a scale can be slightly different. So to answer the question before about the 72 last week being a 72 this week, the 72 from last week run done very similar to last week, this week, it may be higher or it may be lower based on the scale of the day. And that scale is based on the other skaters skating. And also the other thing is as well is, so that's judged against the entire field. So the scale may be up one week or it may be down. It goes up and down. The other thing is as well is a run is very rarely done exactly the same week to week. And on the same token, a ramp or a street course or any sort of obstacle is very rarely exactly the same from week to week. So although a skater might go to 72 one week with a certain amount of tricks done a certain way, those tricks taken to a different course the next week, they're going to differ in some sort of way. So from week to week, scores will go up and they will go down. But you would think that they would be in the same sort of area, but perhaps just the scale will mean that they will go up or down.
That's great that you said it this way, Renton, because you mentioned basically three things. First, there are no categories for performances or tricks evaluation. Second, every trick is different. Every performance is different. You cannot compare it. And the third one is you don't know where the skater skates. So a point evaluation from a different ramp or a different field of play can be compared to exactly the one that people are skating now. So this should be kept in mind at all times, that there is so many aspects and influences into the number that you see, that it just cannot be categorized, cannot be firm. And that brings me to a question that I had, and you said it in a way. The point evaluation, let's use our example of the 72.5, right? It cannot jump that evaluation for that, let's say, same run, cannot jump from 70 to 50, right?
You would assume that it wouldn't jump, wouldn't substantially change. You would assume that if someone got a 72, it wouldn't go more than 6 points either way. You would assume that generally judges will have that same score, around about the same, but not.
So basically, the point evaluation kind of represents the level of skating, the type of performance, but it doesn't prescribe the exactly point evaluation for, it has to be 72.5. But a certain type of skating represents certain type of points. Am I correct?
Yeah, well, it also depends on the other skaters on the day. So if 15 skaters have already gone and you're getting judged not only on your skateboarding, but where that fits with the rest of the field. So say for example, on one week you got a 72.5, but then this week the skater that went before you got a 71. But your run wasn't as good as the skater that got a 71. So you will go below 71 because this week you were under the skater that got 2. So your score that you get is based on your skateboarding compared to the rest of the field on that day on those obstacles.
And that's for basically to create the fair ranking, the fair results of the event, right?
Yeah, so the score is a tool to get the end result, which is the ranking.
Okay, so judging is a tool to rank skateboarders fairly, right? The most important result is to have the skateboarders ranked according to their performances in a fair order.
Yes, that's the goal of judging, is basically to get the end. The ultimate goal of judging is to get the correct end result at the end of the day after the competition, the correct ranking system. So getting number 1 in first place, getting number 2 in second place, getting number 3 in third place, and so on and so on. And the score is a tool to be able to facilitate getting those results at the end of the day.
Perfect. Lincoln, anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, the scores will change, of course, like not even just like, let's say from one weekend to the other. Sometimes it'll change. We've seen it. It changes the next day. Like, because depending on like Renton said it, like if you have the qualification day, right, and then you certain skater, let's say it got a 70 or a 72 on that day, right? If he does the same run, but compare, like you Renton was saying, compared to the rest of the field, there's some of the skaters, you assume they're already on like a pre-qualified skaters to the next round, right? So the qualified skaters, they have to join in the semifinal skaters, right? And those guys will skate maybe that like in the semifinals, they skated a little bit better than your score as a 72 for an example. But the next day, the pre-qualified guy skated really well and got a 72 as well, right? And then compared to your run, it got a 72 yesterday. So we can have your like comparing your run to the guy to the next round that didn't skate yet. If he had a 72 and his run was better, of course your run, when we judge, it'll be lower than that. Maybe we try not to, but like it'll be, if you look at it, we've done that. And then like some people skaters comes up and go, whoa, I did the same run yesterday, and how come I got a 70 instead of a 72? Well, because the skaters that were pre-qualified skated and and then they skated better. I mean, the overall impression, whatever he did, it kind of the panel judge felt that skater skated better. So we cannot give you a 72. You have to go below that skater. So it's just like it'll change. It's subjective, and it's every day or every week. It's a new day. It's a new it's
the moment
contest.
in time.
Yeah, at the moment. Yeah.
Exactly. And the main thing, like we discussed, is the ranking. If the ranking makes sense and the right people are on the right spots, that's what counts. All right, guys.
I just wanted to point out one more thing. And it does highlight that the end goal of the ranking is the most important thing. It's a very similar situation to what Lincoln just mentioned. And this might be that a skater gets a 71 and then another skater gets a 72. And then the other skater who skated first adds like a really, really, really hard trick. And we may only give him 0.5 more. And he, after the competition, might go, I just added this trick. It was absolutely insane. And you only gave me 0.5 more. And in his mind, it makes sense. You should get more points for that, for adding those tricks. But what he isn't seeing is the person above him is 1 point above him. So we can't give him more than 0.5, or if we give him more than 1 point, he will beat the next person, and it will take out, it will make the end result incorrect. So the point score isn't necessarily exactly indicative to how much more you may add, because we can only put someone a certain amount higher before they go a ranking point, like a ranking place higher. So a judge always keeps in mind that the last thing that they want to do is make a decision that is going to affect the end result and the rankings at the end of the day, if that makes sense. It's very similar to what Lincoln just said, but it just goes to show that it's not just the skateboarding that will get you the score that you get. it will also be the other skaters that have skated on the day and where they sit in the rankings. And the judge will always make decisions based on the best outcome for the end of the day rankings.
Makes sense. So guys, keep this in mind and let's move to the next topic.